If you're not doing it, please, for the love of God, do it, because you will be amazed at how many you will get. You could probably add 1 or 2 months to your recurring revenue by simply setting the expectation properly, reconfirming the decision, and walking them through exactly what they just bought. So that gives us our onboarding. And finally, lucky number 7, unlockables. All right, so what's an unlockable? Great question, Jason. Unlockables and milestones. Okay, now this is gonna be so painfully obvious and yet no one does it. What do you want a customer to do? Like really, you're like, what do you want a customer to actually do? Besides continue to stay and pay. There's other stuff too, right? So right off the bat, what I want someone to do is I want them to activate. Now, if you haven't defined what activation is, you look at the customers that have stayed with you the longest and you ask them what are the things they did early that provided the most value. You can also survey this depending on the size of your customer base. You say, hey, what was the thing that provided the most value? And you can try and guess at this. Once you get this point right, everything you do drives to activate customers. So for example, if you had a software that built landing pages, you might find out that if you get someone to switch to a custom URL rather than XYZ software dot whatever their name is, as soon as they make that switch, they stay 5 times longer. You want to figure out what that activation point was. For Gym Launch, it was if we get someone a $2,000 sale in the first 7 days, the likelihood they stay and continue to pay was monstrous. And so we drove a lot of attention to try and make sure people actually made a darn sale that was really big and material in the first week. Duh, right? If I have someone in weight loss, I want them to lose 5 pounds or more in the first week. Duh. So these are these key points that seem like duh things, but if that's actually so important, why aren't we driving all of our effort towards that thing? A different software company that I know, they call it the first 5 clients problem. They had to get trainers onto a software, and they realized that if they just got the trainer 5 clients, then they would never cancel. And so everything drove towards getting the person the first 5 customers. And all of that is activation. So that's step 1. Step 2 is, what else would I want from a customer? Well, I don't know about you, but I would want a testimonial, right? I mean, if I activated them and they're happy now, let me see if they can get me more customers. So I want to get a review. I want to get a testimonial. And you can do that in a variety of ways. They can do a post. They can leave you a review on a review site. They can leave you a personalized video. Number of different ways you do it, or all the ways. You can ask them to do those things, and you get something else from them. Number 3 is I want a referral, right? You know people. Why do you hate me? Why don't you want to tell your friends about my product? Do you hate them, or do you hate me? You hate one of us, right? So we got to figure out what it is. And I think I used to, like, again, this is where rapport comes into place and how big your business is. But like when I was like younger, I'd be like, why do you hate me so much, Sarah? And she's like, what are you talking about? I don't hate you. I'd be like, you haven't sent any friends. Or do you hate your friends? And she'd be like, I don't hate my friends. I'd be like, then let's meet, let's hang out, introduce me, let's do a 3-way. And they're like, whoa, just kidding, ha ha ha, same jokes every time. Anyway, and so you do the text intro, you get it, you're like, hey, take a picture with me and Sarah. And we take the picture, I take it on her phone, we send it to her friend with me as the third person. That way they can't ignore you. And you have it on the iPhone, so it's all blue and everyone knows everyone's legit. But because of that, they have a face that they don't know, the face they do know, and the face they do know is in the text message thread, because they can't be a dick to me because they know that Sarah likes me. And that's how you can get referrals. Referrals number 3. Number 4, and you're like, wait, how's this tying to retention? Don't worry, don't you worry, we'll get there. Is ascension. So, this is actually wild. There was a great research study that was done by one of these big Fortune whatever companies, and they found out that the single greatest thing that you could do to retain customers is get them to buy something else. Because at a certain point, people get this itch to buy. Like, it's been a year since I bought something in this space. And if you don't satisfy them by literally providing another offer to them, they will just go buy somewhere else. And so, as silly as this sounds, sometimes the best way to retain someone is to sell someone again and sell them something else or bigger. And so if we think about this from a reverse standpoint, if I had a customer, I would want them to activate, I want them to leave me a testimonial, I want them to send a referral, and I want them to buy more stuff and more expensive stuff. Well, if that's what I want them to do, then for God's sake, why don't we make these things the unlockables? Now, the unlockables are another fancy word for bonuses that someone gets after they do a certain thing. So if I want everyone to activate, then I might make whatever my KPI is for activation get a big carrot on top of it. They get a big jackpot for doing this thing, right? And so if I was in a digital environment, let's say I have a school community, so you can say, hey, if you've stayed for 3 months, you get this big mega training on ads that I did. And the reason I have it at 3 months is because you got to do the fundamentals. But if you stay past month 3, this unlocks. Wow, boy, do I have a bigger incentive to stay to month 3 if I know I'm going to get this big jackpot of value. And guess what I'm going to do? and month 3, and month 6, and month 9. And the thing is you want to go some little human behavior thing, you can actually extend this timeline. It can go 3, and then you can go 8, and then you can go month 15. Like you can extend the time horizon between the big positive reinforcements and then just make them bigger and badder every time, and they look forward to them more and more and more. And so unlockables can either be on activity, meaning they did something. I'll give you this ads training if you leave me a testimonial. I'll give you this ads training if you send me a referral. I'll give you the ads training if you buy the next level. Or it can be off of tenure, which means they don't do anything besides stay and pay, which, hey,